Hi there, this is Max from Epic Recaps. Today I'm breaking down another amazing movie just for you. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. In the opening scene, Solomon Kane appears, a bold, ruthless, and greedy English warrior from olden times. Next scene, in a creepy, shadowy palace, rows of strange magical mirrors line the hallway. Inside each mirror, a frightening demon waited silently, watching. A group of pirates wandered into the eerie place, clueless about the danger they were about to face. As they passed by the mirrors, the demons sprang out, launching a sudden, fierce attack. Chaos erupted everywhere. One terrified pirate bolted in fear, but their fearless leader, Solomon Kane, stood firm. Cold and calculating, Kane pulled out his pistol, his reputation as a fearsome warrior preceding him. While his crew fought desperately, a creaking sound came from the door behind Kane. A mysterious whisper filled the air. Pulling him toward a dark corridor, he stepped inside and slam. The door shut behind him. There, piles of gold and silver sparkled on the ground, bringing a sly grin to Kane's face. But as he grabbed a handful of treasure, the lifeless body of a long-dead king appeared, and bone-chilling cries filled the air. Swirling black spirits emerged, circling Kane like vultures. They merged into a faceless, grim reaper, seated on an icy throne. For the first time, Kane felt fear creep over him. The reaper raised a bony hand, sending an invisible force that knocked Kane to the ground. Then, it summoned a fiery, glowing sword. Just as the reaper swung to claim his soul, Kane fought back, catching it by surprise. Though Kane managed to escape by shattering a window and leaping into the night, he was forever marked with a terrible curse. Seeking refuge, Kane arrived at a monastery, using his stolen wealth to beg for redemption. He even tattooed sacred symbols on his body, hoping they'd shield him. But the priest, seeing through Kane's desperate attempts, insisted he leave. Despite Kane's pleas, the priest believed he had unfinished business in the world, and cast him out. Lost and wandering, Kane faced cruelty again. A gang of bandits found him, robbed him, and left him beaten. Refusing to fight back, fearful of summoning the Reaper again, Kane endured the abuse. When he awoke, he found himself in a warm, cozy carriage. A kind family had rescued him. Among them was Meredith, a curious girl with a kind smile. She was intrigued by Kane's mysterious past. With nowhere else to go, Kane joined their travels, finding peace for the first time in years. But the calm didn't last. As they traveled, they stumbled upon a village burned to ashes. The charred ground was littered with lifeless bodies. Only one little girl survived, calmly explaining how the villagers had tried to burn a witch, only for the flames to turn against them. As the family prayed for the villagers, Kane grew wary of the girl. Something felt wrong. When she refused to pray and asked to sleep instead, Kane approached her with a cross. Her demeanor shifted, her voice turning cold. She revealed herself as the witch who destroyed the village. Before vanishing into a flock of crows, she marked Meredith's hand with a sinister symbol. Meanwhile, in another village, chaos erupted. Raiders stormed the settlement, destroying everything in their path. Among them was a masked knight with a terrifying aura. He pressed his massive hands against a man's face, burning him with a dark, malevolent power. Yet, the man smiled eerily, as if welcoming the pain. Evil had consumed him entirely. The witch's mark brought disaster upon Meredith's family. The masked knight and his cursed army attacked, leaving destruction in their wake. Kane arrived too late. He begged for peace, but the cursed soldiers mocked him, pointing at the curse he carried. They demanded he pick up his weapon again, knowing it would unleash the darkness he had tried so hard to bury. But when Meredith's brother was cruelly taken from him, Kane's resolve shattered. His rage exploded, and he fought like a storm, defeating the raiders with unmatched fury. But it was too late. Meredith had been captured by the masked knight. For the first time, Kane had a purpose: to save Meredith. Donning his tattered but striking cloak, he left the battlefield behind, strewn with the aftermath of his wrath. As he journeyed, he took down raiders one by one, freeing innocent people along the way. Still, Meredith was nowhere to be found. Weary and desperate, he stumbled into an old church and fell to his knees, seeking guidance. Inside, a fallen priest revealed a horrifying truth. A wicked sorcerer, Malachi, ruled the lands, and the masked knight was his devoted servant. The priest led Cain to a hidden cellar beneath the church, filled with tormented souls who had once been the townsfolk. Before Cain could react, the priest betrayed him, shoving him into the darkness below. Cain fought his way through the twisted, cursed creatures, relying on his inner strength to navigate the shadows. At last, he discovered a narrow escape route. The creatures tried to follow, but retreated under the moonlight, scared of its glow. As Cain caught his breath, the severed head of the priest rolled to his feet. Looking up, he saw the bandits who had once humiliated him. Their empty eyes and jerky movements revealed they were now puppets of the masked knight. They underestimated Cain's wrath. In a flash, he struck them down, ending their cursed lives. Cain asked one of the captured bandits about Meredith. The bandit smirked and said something that shattered Cain's heart. She was gone. His face fell as grief washed over him. For a moment, he just kneeled there, quiet and lost in his grief and pain. One of Cain's old comrades from his past recognized him. With hope in his eyes, the soldier begged Cain to rise up and lead a rebellion against Malachi. But Cain, broken and weighed down by sorrow, shook his head. He couldn't see himself taking on such a fight. One night, when Cain was fast asleep, Malachi's cursed soldiers suddenly appeared, capturing Cain and taking him. By dawn, Cain found himself nailed to a cross, left to die as the masked knight taunted him and rode away. Meanwhile, Meredith, trapped in a prison wagon, saw Cain's torment and cried out for him. Her desperate screams reignited his strength. Summoning every ounce of willpower, Cain broke free from the nails, bloodied but alive. With his comrades' help, he fought off the knight's cursed puppets and retreated to a hidden sanctuary. There, a pagan healer tended to Cain's wounds as the group planned their next move. One of his comrades revealed a shocking secret. Malachi's fortress was Cain's childhood home, a castle he had abandoned long ago. Steeling himself, Cain led his team to the castle, sneaking in through the sewers. Inside, Cain confronted the old witch who had cursed Meredith. Disguised as a little girl, she was preparing for more wickedness. Without hesitation, Cain hurled a knife, putting an end to her schemes. But her fall echoed through the halls, alerting Malachi's cursed army. The battle was inevitable. The masked knight entered the fray, cutting down Cain's men with terrifying precision. Even Cain's strength faltered against him. Wounded and outmatched, Cain retreated deeper into the castle, determined to face Malachi and save Meredith. As Cain crept through the dim, eerie corridors, he stumbled upon a shocking sight. His father, chained and battered. The old man's eyes widened in disbelief as he recognized Cain. Memories flooded back. Years ago, Cain's father had chosen his elder brother, Marcus, to inherit the family title and land, while Cain was sent away to join the priesthood. Furious and ashamed, Cain had left home, vowing never to return. But before he left, he discovered Marcus harming an innocent girl. Enraged, Cain confronted his brother. In the chaos, Marcus fell from a cliff, and Cain had believed him gone forever. But now, his father revealed the devastating truth. Marcus had survived. Malachi's dark magic had brought him back, transforming him into the masked knight, the relentless force of destruction responsible for so much pain. Racked with guilt and anger, Cain stormed into Malachi's chamber, where the sorcerer lounged on a throne surrounded by sinister symbols. Meredith was trapped in a cage nearby, her eyes wide with fear, silently begging for help. Cain charged at Malachi, but the sorcerer vanished before his blade could strike. Frustrated but undeterred, Cain turned to free Meredith. As he reached her cage, a searing pain tore through his shoulder. A sword had pierced him. It was the masked knight. Recognizing his brother's fighting style, Cain desperately tried to reason with Marcus, hoping to end the nightmare without violence. But Marcus, consumed by the darkness, attacked mercilessly, forcing Cain to defend himself. As the brothers battled, Malachi reappeared, unveiling a massive mirror that held a terrifying secret, a demon king trapped within. The sight of the monstrous figure froze Cain momentarily. and Marcus's brutal assault continued. In a desperate move, Cain grabbed a torch and set his brother ablaze. The flames engulfed Marcus, and Cain watched, heartbroken, as his brother fell for the final time. In the chaos, Malachi seized Meredith and slashed her palm, using her blood to awaken the Demon King. The ground trembled as the demon burst free from the mirror, towering over them. Cain acted quickly, luring the demon away while turning his focus to Malachi. As the demon prepared to crush Cain, Meredith bravely pushed Malachi toward him. Seizing the moment, Cain struck Malachi down with a single shot. With Malachi's death, the sorcerer's dark magic unraveled. The Demon King, along with the curse that had plagued Cain, was pulled back into the mirror, sealing the evil away once more. Exhausted, Cain collapsed, but a wave of peace washed over him. He had found redemption, free from the shadow of his dark past. Though the world still carried traces of evil, Cain had become a hero, ready to fight for the light. If you enjoyed this recap, be sure to check out the channel for more reviews and movie recaps. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for all the latest updates. And if you want more movie recaps like this, stay tuned and keep watching.